show you a thing. But De'Von Achane, 4 years, 64, right? 64 million?
68.
68 million, 17 a year, $32 million guaranteed. But they get it done.
They get
it done. I know a lot of people said StreamYard is not liking me at the moment.
No.
He's having issues with his StreamYard. But again, there are many people who are like, I don't feel comfortable giving him a second contract for a running back and so forth and so far. And I would say again, but he's not just a running back. I think that's the mistake people make with De'Von Achane. Stop just viewing him as a running back. He's in every back. He does everything. He's a receiver. He's a running back. He does it all. He's a multifaceted type of weapon that if Miami wasn't going to give him this deal, another team was going to do it. And so now Miami secures him for 4 years. And you're like, oh, but why? Why do you get this deal done? You know, Miami's not going to be a good team. Miami's not going to do anything. You're wasting him. I mean, we know the argument's coming, right? We know that argument's going to be had. Here's the counter to that point. Again, you're setting up a foundation. You're setting up a culture. John Eric Sullivan and Coach Hafley know what they're doing in regards of what type of culture they want to set here with the Miami Dolphins. They want guys who are, no matter how shitty your team is, how bad, how much when the other players showed they didn't care, that they weren't giving the effort. When the team was in the shitter and there were guys quitting on the team like a Tyreek Hill and so forth. When there are guys like that a couple years back, and then you think about last year when the team was just bad and there were guys laying it in and Tua was not giving 100% and being an idiot after and during the press conference afterwards. When there are guys doing that, there was a very limited number of guys who were showing up every day, every game day. You knew you could count on them to play a good game. Jordan Brooks, Aaron Brewer, Patrick Paul, De'Von Achane. Those guys showed up every day. Didn't matter who their coach was. Did not matter what was happening with the Miami Dolphins. Did not matter what situation the Dolphins were in. You knew those guys were going to give 110% and play their best football. And that's what De'Von Achane did. And that is why you extend a player like that. Not just because he's one of the better players in the NFL. Not just because he's your most consistent, better offensive weapon. But because what example he sets for the rest of the team. That's why Miami signed Malik Willis. That's why John Eric Sullivan, Coach Hafley signed Malik Willis. They saw him day in, day out as the backup quarterback in preparation, what he did in practice, what he did when he's off the field. He didn't need to do any of those things. He could practice, then kind of take a back seat. Oh, I'm not the starter. I'm not going to replace Jordan Love anytime soon. I could shoe it in. I'm getting money. He didn't do that. He prepared as a starter, and when it was his time to play, he played the best football he can. So much so that teams wanted him. Now, you sign him to the deal, not because you think he's going to be some great quarterback, but because of the example he's going to set for the rest of the team. And that is one of the reasons why Miami extends De'Von Achane. The example that he's going to set for the rest of the team to work hard and bring it every day, week in, week out, no matter what is going on with the season. Let's go ahead and welcome Alex, and let's welcome Finstanza, and then we'll get your 2 cents on De'Von Achane doing the extension. Let's bring in Evan in the dark, the midnight edition of Finstanza.
I had to match Alex. I want to stay in the dark.
You see, I appreciate it, bro. I appreciate it. Solidarity. Yeah. There we go. I like it. Amazing.
Yeah, solidarity.
Oh, is that what it is? Oh, that's hilarious. Oh, I didn't notice that. Okay, now I get it. That's
my man. But Finstanza, so you just came in. I'll just give my quick 2 cents because I know this is topic of expertise for you guys. I believe that this was ideal because you needed to lock down arguably top 3 running back in the NFL. And since he came into the league, I believe he is 1 in yards per carry. yards after contact. There's a quite possibility he's one or top three in all those categories, and he's going to make your offense go. He's gonna provide the relief for Malik Willis, aside from the offensive line being stacked and obviously improving organically with development and creating more availability for your receivers, more spacing. When you have the possibility of a running game, and that is your main focus, and not only as a runner, also as a pass catcher, that's going to diversify your offenses. That's going to amplify the way you attack downfield for your receivers. It's going to provide comfort for your quarterback. And when you have a scrambling quarterback, a quarterback that has the ability to scramble, which we haven't had in a while. I know he hasn't been under center yet, but I can assure you, every Miami Dolphins fan is comfortable seeing Malik Willis under center and scrambling if the play breaks down or if the pocket breaks down in comparisons to Tua. And now you have that. You have Achane locked in.
Who's that?
Who?
Who?
Hey, man, it was just a matter of time. I know people were clamoring for Achane to be moved. This is one of the building blocks. And once again, Sully is sticking to his plan. What he said he will do, he is doing. So we always ask for accountability from our front office. Our GM and our head coach are being accountable, and they're following through on everything that they said that they were going to do. So I couldn't be happier, man. This is something that it's a building block, and now we've got, like you mentioned, the job is still not done. You still got Jordan Brooks. You still got Brewer. So let's see if you can secure some of these, obviously alleviate the cap, and let's see which veteran they add as well once free agency starts.
Evan.
Hi. Nice to see you all. It's a pleasure.
My pleasure, man.
It's a pleasure, guys.
The nightcap.
I'll enjoy this. Oh, but Bobby, late night's coming back, Bobby. When I bought that jersey, I said to myself, I trolled this kid enough. I had fun driving Bobby nuts all season. And I said, when they fire the guy that's holding back De'Von Achane, because yes, he held him back because he stopped going away from the run game, I would buy his jersey. And that day, when I screamed, Bobby, I bought that jersey. Did I not, Bobby? Live on a show. I bought that jersey. The kid was the best thing that's happened to this Dolphins during this rebuild. He's a foundational piece that you need in a rebuild. It gives the balance between you don't know what's coming between Malik Willis and De'Von Achane. It shows that the path of the Miami Dolphins is something that a player like De'Von Achane could have said, you want to know what? Yeah, I want to get paid. But do I want to spend the next up to 4 years on a team that might be going nowhere? Or do I believe that this team has the foundational pieces and the right head coach and the right general manager and the right overall foundation to succeed? Because yes, you want to take the money, but at the same time, he could have said, you want to know what? I might sign a 1-year deal and then go see what's out there. There's no 5th-year option with him. He wasn't a first-round pick, so he could hold out. He could say, I want to trade. There's a lot of things that could have happened. But De'Von Achane believes in what's happening in Miami. He likes what the opportunities are for him. Whatever Jeff Hafley, whatever Bobby Slowick, whatever John Eric Sullivan sold to him, he likes. And that will give more confidence to the rest of the team that there's possibility here. And what were the one things that Bobby, you and I have been saying since the end of last season? What are our expectations this season? There are no expectations. So this season is going to be fun. People are talking about, oh, wow, this is the second hardest schedule. I couldn't care less what the schedule is. I honestly don't care. The point of this season, the point of having someone like De'Von Achane and having people like Malik Willis is fun. I'm looking forward to the fact that, you want to know what? This team is going to be fun. It's not going to be that Moody Judy in 2019 where you're tanking for Tua. You have a coach who doesn't want to talk to anybody. Did you happen to see the interview he did with Richard Sherman? Like, people talked about, remember when they were going to hire Jeff Hafley and everyone was worried about the haircut? Like, people are worried. honestly, the one thing that these two guys have, which I like about, is the conviction to go after what they want. They said they weren't going to trade De'Von Achane, that he was a foundational piece. And he is. He's a dual threat player who is able to make plays on his own, break tackles, be a wide receiver, is a 3-down back. And I don't care what they signed him to. And Bobby, I said, I thought they were going to sign him to about $50 million. Then I saw the Breece Hall contract. I did it around $30 million guaranteed. It turned out to be 32. He's a better quarterback. He's a better running back than Breece Hall. He's done more in the first couple of years than Breece Hall. And to steal a line from the former QB, the market is the market. So he got what he wanted. The Dolphins, I think, don't lose out on this deal. And I'm very content with this contract signing, and I love it. I love it. Honestly, there's nothing I don't enjoy about what's happening with the Dolphins this year. Like, I look back now, Bobby, we talked about it on the draft, the raw reaction to absolutely everything.
Yeah.
Who's Will Kuzmarek? You go watch Will Kuzmarek now, the tape on Will Kuzmarek. Achane is going to have, if he runs on the left side and you have Kuzmarek, Proctor, and Paul running for days, you won't be able to see De'Von Achane. Honestly, like, the foundation point of what they're doing here is building a foundation. And like I've talked to you, Bobby, on the phone briefly, I'm in Montreal. I'm in Canada. If you're following hockey, people who are in Florida, you're big Panther fans. There was a rebuild that happened in my city a couple of years ago that's way ahead of schedule. They built foundational pieces. They signed the right players early. The young core of the team is why they're winning right now. And that's what's going to happen with the Dolphins. They have a lot. He's going to be a leader. He will be a captain. Like, he will be one of the top captains on offense along with Brewer. And he will be a mentor to the people coming up. Like, he will be a person who will be able to guide the offense. Like, if you look back at 2019, there was no one guiding the offense there. Who was the guy? Ryan Fitzpatrick. It was Josh Rosen. There was nothing there. It was Ryan Fitzpatrick the first year, but that was a veteran. Here you have young guys. You have to build from the youth. And that's what they're doing on this team. There's no old guys on this team. It's the youngest team in the NFL by a country mile. So for me, I love it. Honestly, I could not love the signing more. And it's the right thing. They did the right thing. They kept the one player they should have kept, and they kept him. And I believe they're going to do the same thing. I think at one point you'll see Jordan Brooks want to resign.
Yep.
I think Aaron Brewer. If you think Aaron Brewer is going to sign for $20 million because Tyler Linderbaum is not $24 million, that ain't going to happen. So, like, that's not the market is the market, right? So, but overall, the Dolphins right now are quietly doing what they need to do. And you know what I like about it, Bobby? The respect factor. And I don't know about you. It's something, and I don't want to like tash up history, but I get the alerts on Twitter and on X and on YouTube about our former head coach talking about Justin Herbert and talking about the Chargers because they signed David Njoku and all that. And I listen to him and I go, what is this nonsense, this dribble? He's talking about Justin Herbert like he's the greatest thing since sliced bread. Didn't he say it about Tua last year? I like the fact that in this, there's no expectations here. The fact that you're going to go out and you're going to earn your keep. You're going to earn your stripes here. Even De'Von Achane was signed to this contract, but if he struggles, he's earned it. That's the difference. Is he's earned it, but a lot of people here have to come into camp and they have to earn it. The guy proved that. I believe that we haven't even scratched the surface of De'Von Achane. I believe he was held back because he was in an offense where how often were Alex and Bobby were we watching games and they went away from the run game because they were trying to prove something. Here, De'Von Achane is your leader. He's your Saquon Barkley. He's your Derrick Henry, but he's a player that you could basically give the ball to 40 times and he ain't going to do you wrong. So for me, to get this news today, and you do love the fact that it's not even a big splash. Like they don't do it to get the splash. They do it because they make commitments. It's the conviction of it, right? They kept a promise. there's so much going on in the world of sports right now, playoffs, all this kind of stuff. They didn't do it at 4:00 in the at noon where there's nothing going on. They snuck it in there at the end of the day because they don't want to make a big deal about it. They're not trying to make a big thing out of it. They're basically saying we're paying the guy because he deserves to be paid. We're not trying to be razzle dazzle here. We're signing a guy because he deserves that contract.
So I'll say right now too, and it looks like Sammy just put in here that it's confirmed that the Dolphins at Las Vegas week 1 has been revealed. So we're gonna talk about that tomorrow.
I don't
we're
trust
talk
that
about
it. The actual schedule.
We'll talk about that more tomorrow on Finn's Talk Today, tomorrow night on 8 p.m. Eastern time with me and Finn Sammy. So, but shout out there. We'll keep a lookout on that. But to your point, and again, you know, Evan, we've heard this over and over again. We've debated, you know, but we've heard we've heard from the other people like, oh, but you don't give us running back a second contract. You don't give this. And my argument is he's not just a running back. He's a multifaceted weapon. He can do it all. But again, this contract, to your point, I want to jump on this very quick. To your point with John Eric Sullivan and Coach Halfley, but John Eric Sullivan especially, everything he said he's going to do, he's meant it. When he doesn't give you the answer, and he's giving you that politically correct answer, like, you know, we appreciate him, we haven't made a decision yet. Tua's gone. You kind of read between lines. They're going to look at the deal. Jalen Waddle, he brought up Achane, Brewer, Patrick Paul, Jordan Brooks. Oh, what about Jalen Waddle? Jalen's a good player. He's a good player. He's a, you know, and what Jalen Waddle gone. But he said by 4 guys, and these things about it, they're going to try to extend these guys. And De'Von Achane, they're going to try to trade him. They, you know, if he gets a good offer, they're going to move him. I don't think he's going to stay. They extend him. And again, my point, Evan, as you were coming on or before you came on, was that it's not only about extending him because he's a great player. Because the argument could be made, Evan, we've heard it before, that why would he take a deal here or why would they do it? They're not going to be good anytime soon, which you just brought up your team, the hockey team that wasn't expected to be good, and they're better than what people thought and everything else. We saw it with Houston. Not saying that's going to happen with Miami. You can't say that. Zero expectations. But this is not just about getting a player who's great because you expect your team to be great. We don't have that expectation. But you're getting a player who, again, I'll give you we get multiple examples. Chop Robinson, Savannah. You know, Chop Robinson, heard rumors that he wasn't fully given 100% last year. Savannah was on the wrong side. Now he's on the right side. And all of a sudden, coaches say, the offensive line, well, we think if he's on the right side, he's going to do better in his natural position. Whoa, rocket science. What the hell did the other guys think? Anyway, you look at those guys last year, the whole team, Zach Sealer, where the hell was he? A lot of these guys that we expect to be good or were good players, even Tua, if you believed or didn't believe in him, you look at these guys, they did not perform up to par, but it was always the blame game with Tua, right? Oh, here. This guy. Oh, I didn't really mean that. But then when McDaniel, blah, 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 and everybody else was not playing up to par, but you could say, well, no one else did. But there were 4 guys who did. De'Von Achane was one of those guys, no matter how shitty and crappy the team was, no matter what the situation that was happening around him, nobody would ever say De'Von Achane's not going to give 100%. He never quit on the team. You never saw him give no effort. Every time, even when we were down, Evan, and you're like, they're going to kill him. Even when Miami was down and had nothing to play for, he was running for his life to get to that end zone and jumping over the pile. That's why John Eric Sullivan said he's a foundational piece. We want guys who are going to go week in and week out and perform their best football, perform their best on the field. He's an example. When you bring players in, you go, that's what you're supposed to do. Come in here every week, ready to play, ready to compete. That's what he does. That's why anybody not named those 4 guys, and maybe Malik Willis, have a bullseye on him this year, minus the rookies redrafted. But everyone else has a bullseye. Every single one of them, because if they come in and give half-ass performances or they don't show up in camp ready to play, ready to compete, they're going to be out the door. He traded Jalen Waddle. He cut Tyreek Hill. He traded Tua Tagovailoa for a big deal. You don't think he's going to cut your ass? He'll cut you if you don't perform. But those 4 guys perform week in, week out. Jordan Brooks had the balls to say, we're soft. We're a soft team. Everybody go, oh, shoot. Right? We always said it. You never thought a teammate would say, no, he said it. That's why John Eric Sullivan loves that guy. Does he trade him? I don't know. I don't think so. I think he's going to extend him. And I would rather extend him, keep him with Jacob Rodriguez and Kyle Lewis. But that's why he said he's one of the foundational pieces.
There's
those
no
four
way
guys
to move him.
you never expected. I mean, no, week in and week out, Patrick Paul, Aaron Brewer, Jordan Brooks, De'Von Achane. You knew those four guys were going to do their best to play the best football. Can they have a bad game? Everybody has a bad game, but you never doubt what they're going to come in. You doubted Tua's effort. You doubted Jalen Waddle, Zach Sealer, anybody else but those four guys. And that's why those four guys were called the foundational pieces. And that's why De'Von Achane, with his talent, plus that notion right there, he got the deal he got. And it was rightfully deserved. And I love it. And I'm happy that they got him. They kept him. Because he's going to be he's a great player, but he's going to even be better now that you just brought it up. Kasmerick, the tight end. You think about Patrick Paul, Proctor, Aaron Brewer, Savannah now on the right side, hopefully lives up to the competition and wins that spot. Who knows what happens to Austin Jackson? But you really, and then you put Kasmerick there on the right side next to Jackson. Holy crap. Are you kidding me? And they already said, we want to run. We're a running team. Slowick said, I believe in running the ball. Let me tell you something. I'm excited for De'Von Achane, but I'm ecstatic in regards of what I think potential could be for Ollie Gordon. Look out for Ollie Gordon, because don't think De'Von Achane's not going to be spread out here and there, but Ollie freaking Gordon. Look out.
What about Jalen Wright? Don't forget about the last remaining Jalen.
We'll see how. Well, Le'Veon Moss retired, apparently, injuries, but it's okay.
Yeah,
but
what happened with that?
Jalen Wright too.
Does he get his guaranteed money?
No, I don't think so. He can't.
Oh, okay. I'm like, that's kind of sketchy, bro. I just got a guaranteed contract. I'm gonna retire in 7 days. Like, whoa, my money back, man.
Sammy says that they announced the game with sales reps for the schedule release.
Yeah, but honestly, but there's weirdness because they're talking about how the Jets might be at week 2. The last
I saw Jets, yeah.
Yeah, the one thing, or they might have to, but the problem is that they were announcing though that the second week, which I believe is September 19th and 20th, there's already something happening at Hard Rock. I don't see them. I don't know how they would work that, because I don't see them putting the Dolphins 2 weeks. They don't typically put a team 2 weeks on the road to start a season. That's kind of odd, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I don't see that happening. So honestly, until you actually see it in writing, you never know. Plus, the Dolphins. Didn't you know the Dolphins were selling they were selling tickets for the season before they even knew what the schedule was. They already wanted to get cash grabs on the money. That's one thing about Ross. Like, the one thing I will say to that department, Tom Garfunkel, they need to do a better job of like marketing their tickets and marketing the brand. Like, a lot of teams do it really well. That's the one thing they're missing, is they don't do a great job with their season ticket holders and like getting and like building up the ticket base. That's 100% the truth.
So
I'm not questioning it, Sammy. I'm just saying I think that's ridiculous that a team should have to start 2 weeks on the road. I'm just saying I think that's ridiculous.
It's a
or to have to go west to east.
Ozzy NFL is the one who said that the Dolphins are set to visit the Raiders in week 1. Okay. But David Ferrones, I think I'm saying that right, probably butchering it. He says if you combine internet reports, NFL schedule release, the Dolphins are hosting the New York Jets at 1 p.m. and then playing at the Las Vegas Raiders at 4:25 in week 1. So there's conflicting rumors. He says currently working to confirm how the team will handle logistics of the travel for that day. But usually they save the East games for a couple weeks in, and then
Correct.
They go.
No, but I would like to see what I would like to see is will the NFL continue to punish the Dolphins again they did last season and the season before, because and not give the Dolphins the advantage of 1 o'clock games in September because of the stadium benefit, right? Like they did that last year where they gave us no 1 o'clock games, which I think was total BS. Every team has an advantage, weather-wise or something.
Correct.
The Dolphins should not be denied because of how they built the stadium to hurt the other team. They've lost games doing it, even in September. So, like, why? Also, it's a time for people to travel. It's a nice time. I see. Like, they shouldn't hurt the Dolphins because of the fact that people are too warm and they're complaining in the NFL that there's 1 o'clock games and it's really hot for the other team. Give me a break.
Babies, little bunch of babies.
But ridiculous. Come to Canada. Come to Canada in the month of May. It's May 13th here, and it's like 40 degrees. It's ridiculous. It's right now the average temperature should be in the 70s. It's in the 40s. It's ridiculous here. Ridiculous.
Sammy going back 23, week 1 at Chargers, week 2 at Patriots. So you go. I'll tell you one thing. At least we don't have any international games. I'm happy about that.
Oh, thank God.
There's no international.
And I hope there's no night games, please. No night games.
Yeah, I don't know. No
primetime games.
Unless it's the Packers or the Chargers, right? Because it's the return of Mike McDaniel or the Chargers. The one you keep bringing up every episode.
Bobby.
Every time you're on air, you bring them up.
Wouldn't that be amazing? Fan club weekend. If McDaniel's there, oh boy, I'm gonna have the biggest sign up. That would be classic for me. Oh. I would love that. I would have to be there. Alex, you'd have to be there. Like, honestly, a McDaniel return, I could heckle that guy. I would heckle that boy all day long. Oh, my God.
And I got to give it to McDaniel. His parting gift was Achane. Like, we drafted him because of him. So I got to give it to him. I'm very thankful for McDaniel for leaving Achane on the way out, and we were able to extend him. So that's a big thank you for him.
Yeah. No, but honestly, though, honestly, I'm looking back. I look at how the team is now, and I just look at the people. Honestly, it's just a different mindset. It's just like, and by the way, what do you think, guys, about the fact that already we might lose our assistant general manager? He's being interviewed for the Minnesota job. Yeah, Kyle Davidson.
Holy crap!
Yeah, he's already being interviewed for that. That's the second guy who we would have hired, and then boom, he's gone.
Yeah,
I guess we hire good people.
That's not bad. That's not
bad. No, but honestly. But that's what I really want to pinpoint. Achane chose to stay here.
Yeah.
Like, what?
He's trusting the process. Yeah.
He's trusting the process. He believes in what he's seeing. He had to be sold on what's there. And you know what I like about the guys? I don't know if you guys watching everything, you hear about it. I like the fact that the people around us, they answer the goddamn questions.
Yeah,
like,
directly too.
And you happen to notice, Bobby, the maturity of the people they brought in. Yeah. Like if you look at the interviews of the people, like I know every time there's those moments, but like even when they've been interviewing the young guys, like you listen to Jacob Rodriguez talk, you listen to Caden Proctor talk, there's a professionalism there, right? It doesn't look, there's going to be no ping pong tables and basketball hoops inside of the dressing room. They want to build a professional, respectful organization. That's the one thing we always like. That's the one thing I will tell you about this. Whether we win 8 games, whether we win 4 games, we're not going to be laughed at as the Dolphins. The one thing that you will see is this team will work their effing tails off.
I love that you said
or you're gone, or you're gone.
I love that you said, because I'm going to say
orange jersey nonsense. No. We get to play the music. Like, what is this nonsense?
No, because again, you're not just. It's Coach Hafley's the coach of this football team, and I'm excited. I love what I hear so far from him. He was on Dan Lepetard, genuine guy. Like he's coming off really well,
and he's a fun guy too. He's a fun guy.
Love, hate McDaniel. McDaniels could be a cool guy, whatever. But Hafley comes off really well. But at the same time, you know that when he's on that field, he's come to coach, you're come to play. There's none of this nonsense French stuff. But that's the same thing with John Eric Sullivan. With Chris Grier, you didn't have that. Chris Grier was, I drafted the players, I signed the players, do it, and I'm going to go do my own thing, whatever. John Eric Sullivan's there on the sidelines in shorts like a coach. I mean, he's there. You know damn well if he looks.
He's working out with them, by the way. He works out with them.
I'm saying if he sees first off the coach is shit in the bed and calling the wrong plays and whatever, or keeping a guy out there that shouldn't be out there, or he's there and he's looking at players giving half-ass. You don't think he's going to get in that coach or say something to the coach or go to that player and say, "What the hell are you doing?" Again, he already showed that everybody's on notice. He showed. I don't care what your contract is. People say I can't do it. I'm going to do it. I will cut you. I will trade you. I don't care what how the league views you, Jalen Waddle. I don't care how good you are, Tyreek Hill around the league. I don't care, the upside or what people think of you, whatever. I don't care. If I don't think you're giving 110%, or I don't think that you could be a valuable piece of this football team, you're out the door. So players like Zach Sealer, who we like, but if he plays like he did last year, he's gone. Let's be real. He's out the door, right? There's guys that you go, oh, but he remember he was once that good. Chop Robinson, you were a first-round pick. You did good in your rookie year. You were ass in year 2. If you come year 3 playing half-ass, performing half-ass in practice, not making football a priority during the season, if you do that same thing, you're gone. I don't care if you're a first-round pick. Some team will want you. We won't want you. And let me tell you something. Let me make this perfectly clear, right? Miami got a couple edge rushers in this draft. And let me tell you, Trey Moore and the kid out of Iowa, I'm really excited. But well, I love how the roles have switched. We got Evan's usually a troll, and now it's Sammy. Sammy's coming in, taking up the role. He's really having some fun with it.
He's only been doing it to me for about 6 months already.
But what I'm going to say is next year's draft with edge rushers looking really freaking good. There are some really good edge rushers, Evan and Alex, that if Chop Robinson doesn't show up and show out, don't worry, brother. We could go get another one coming in. So that's what I love about this team, Evan, and you're right. So, there are no expectations for this season, but I know people, tank. We're not tanking. I don't see this team tanking. I'm not going to say I'm expecting any wins, but I won't be surprised if we come in and go, damn, this team's performing way better than we thought, because that's the way this team's going to play.
The Jets are the Jets, but they added a veteran quarterback, and they continue to add play. They continue to add. They still have more developed players than Garrett Wilson. They still have Quentin Williams. They still have a foundational players that are still developed, but they're still trying to build their team. I wouldn't want to be the Patriots now.
No,
the controversy over Mike Vrabel. They have a 10 times harder schedule. They have
so happy I never wanted Vrabel. I was so right when I said I didn't want Vrabel.
Yeah, right.
I never wanted his ass.
Oh yeah, right.
You got rid of him in Tennessee. I knew. You knew.
I knew. I was so happy when he's gone. I was like, forget that.
And by the way,
you were the one filming them when they went into the lake on the boat and all that.
Let me ask you: of all the teams in the AFC East, we have the least amount of pressure. I don't want to tell you something.
No,
Let me finish.
We're not that far off.
The Bills. There's no pressure. The Bills are opening up a new stadium. They hired a young head coach in a team that's expected to win. They haven't added anything superstarish yet in free agency. It's all going to be on Josh Allen and James Cook again. So, in a brand new stadium, high expectations. The Chiefs are what? They don't have Patrick Mahomes at the beginning of the year. There's all these expectations now that the genius is now with the Chargers. We'll see what happens there. The Ravens haven't gotten over the hump yet, and Derrick Henry's a new year older, and you're bringing in Jesse Minter, you lost John Harbaugh, and you're bringing in Anthony Weaver. Yes, you have Trey Hendrickson and all these guys, but there's no superstar team there's no guarantee. Oh, just because Joe Burrow, he still has Zach Taylor, who's still his head coach. They still don't have much of a defense. All these teams that have all these great there's no expectations. And look at this. Every team, there's not one team in the NFL right now that is standalone, an amazing guaranteed football team. No one thought the Seahawks coming. If the Dolphins just do their job, there's no expectations this year. I think within 3 years, they're going to be fighting for a playoff spot, and they're going to build because they're going to build through the draft, young guys on cheap contracts, and then people are going to want to come to Miami to be part of this growth. You don't think people are going to see what's being built here and want to come here? And trust me, also, people don't think about this. If you're Tutu Atwell, if you're Jalen Tolbert, if you're any of these guys who are making $1.2 million, $1.3 million, and you're on a 1-year contract, you don't think you're busting your ass off to get your next contract?
Mm-hmm.
You are going to kick yourself in the ass. You want to be De'Von Achane. Do you think that Malik Willis is happy making $22.5 million? No, he's happy to get that now, but you don't think he's going to work his freaking tail off to know that that sometime next year he gets an extension? You think yes, they might draft a quarterback, but his plan is not to just be the quarterback here for the next 2 years. His plan is to be the quarterback for the next decade. So all the people here are going to work their asses off. We're not going to be picking people up on Tuesday like Brian Flores was to play on Sunday. You better kick your ass here. They signed all these players. They cut players that were already on the roster, and put undrafted free agents. Look at that guy, Rieger.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? Like, he's going to be your Kader Kohu of this year. He's going to be a good player. He will be on your defense this year. Chris Bell, when he is ready, he's going to be great. Like, so for me, all this expectations, I just want to see effort. If you don't, that's the one thing I will want to see, and I will be I want to see that they're trying, and that's what I haven't seen for the last 3 years. People, Bobby, this is going to be the most hardest working training camp you'll ever see. If a team is coming here to do a joint practice, they better be prepared, because they're going to get their asses whooped, because this is basically, on this team, you basically have 45 Rudies. You have 45 Rudies. They're going to get knocked down. They're going to get right back up, because everyone on here, do the math. Outside of Malik, outside of the standard base players that are here, more than 85 to 90% of this roster is making $1 million, $1 million to $1.5 million. Everyone outside of Dulcich, Achane, Brooks, Brewer, Malik Willis, everyone's making $1 million. So they're going to work. Everyone's fighting for a contract. Everyone is fighting for a contract on this team. The only person who shouldn't worry about a contract is De'Von Achane. Everyone else is fighting for a contract. Everyone else is fighting for a contract. No one's guaranteed anything.
Alex, your thoughts?
Well, one thing that I always compare it to, and the comparisons that I have, is a Seattle rebuild. I don't think this team is that far off as people, as a common fan, would expect them to be, due to the whole situations that we had the last couple of years. Alone, what they did in this draft, you have possibly 5 to 6 starters or contributors from day one, and like foundational piece contributors. Because you just drafted right there, you might have drafted 2/3 of your linebacking core in a matter of 3 or 4 rounds this draft. So there's a lot of pieces that are being added, and there was some talent in this roster. People forget that. Like, Malik Washington has something to prove. Like you mentioned, you signed Tutu Atwell, Tolbert. They're going to have the opportunity, but Malik Washington wants to prove something, that he can be a Tyreek Hill type player. Chris Bell, he wants to get back. Douglas wants to get back. Wants to prove that he wasn't a reach. So there's an incentive for this team to surprise a lot of people, the coaching staff, the general manager, and who is the gratified customer of all this? The Dolphins fans, because for so long we've wanted to have a competitive team. We wanted to have a tough team, and I don't know about you, but it's like a little checklist, right? Everything Sully and Halfley said is like, damn, okay, they said they did it. They said they were going to be competitive. They want to compete. And now they've said that also. They haven't said, have you noticed? I mean, every coach and GM is going to say they want to be competitive, but they genuinely believe that this team can compete this year. I'm not saying for not championship level, but you just mentioned the distress of the Patriots, the Bills with the high expectations of a new stadium, and not really having any roster upgrades that we've seen so far. The Jets are going to be the Jets. The Jets are still far. They have too many holes left. This team could, I'm not saying sneak in as a wild card, but they can be competing there mid-year. And if everything breaks right and they stay healthy, they can surprise a lot of teams and get on their tails towards the end of the year and even fight for a possible wild card spot. So I would not count it out. This isn't a quarterback. This is a quarterback that is hungry to prove himself, that he's just not a GM favorite that was picked and plucked from Green Bay. So I'm telling you, there's nothing there that won't surprise me. Look.
No, he did. I know. He thinks I'm not paying attention. By the way, you know what that's a sign of, Bobby? You know what the sign of?
What's that?
Jealousy. Just pure and utter jealousy. He's like Ethan Page coming after Penta. What was I going to say? Bobby, you know what it reminds me of? You know what this is? You'll appreciate this. You know what the Dolphins remind me of this season? They're like preparing for the draft for me this year. I'm going in and I'm basically watching tape. Yes. I'm going to be watching the players.
Yep. Are
they developing?
Yep.
Are they getting better? Mm-hmm. Are they listening to the coaching staff? Right. Are they giving it their all? Are they are they going to start next week? Because I can bet you this. Whoever starts week 1, if they don't give their effort, they can start in week 2.
Yeah.
Right? They ain't starting week 3. I think the joke was, I think someone mentioned, do you know, if I were to tell you this right now, Alex, would you believe me that Jordan Phillips, the 5th round pick, he had 100 less snaps, but do you know he was on the line to start more than double the games that Kenneth Grant did? Your 15th pick has started half the games that your 5th round pick did.
Mm-hmm.
That's so you just doesn't matter where you were drafted. If you're on a roster, you could prove that you deserve a spot. No, there's no free rides in Miami anymore. The only thing that's free there is your state tax. Nothing else is free when you walk into Miami Gardens and Hard Rock Stadium. But we can ask you guys' opinion. What is up with the BS? Because Bobby, I have been to Hard Rock Stadium many times.
You're gonna go to Super Bowl?
With the F1 setup. That is such a troll job. They just want money from Stephen Ross to spend. If they don't think that they're going to have the Super Bowl here in the next 6 years, they're insane. You don't think Stephen Ross is going to make room for a Super Bowl? Are you kidding me? Are you unbelievable? Are you insane? It's a South Beach. You're telling me you want to continue to go to these cities? If you could host it in New Orleans and you could host it in Atlanta, how do you not in Vegas? How do you not host it in Miami? Are you kidding? The national championship was here. Are you kidding me? They host soccer games here with riots. Are you kidding me? You can't host the Super Bowl. What?
I didn't buy that.
They brought some inspector with their clip-on tie and their pocket protector, and they did the square footage around the stadium. Oh, the F1 course. There's no room to put the catering. Are you kidding me? This is Stephen Ross. He'll. What kind of nonsense is this bullshit?
And the reason he did it, first and foremost, and I got to give it to him. Well, not now. Stephen Ross sold that. He sold the stadium. He sold the F1, the F1 formula, the tennis, the Miami Open for about, I think it was like $12 billion or $13 billion.
He makes more on it.
Yeah. So there are things there. The reason he did it is because of the NFL. The NFL said if you want to continue to host Super Bowls, you need to upgrade your facilities. You need to fix your stadium. You need to put a partial roof. Like, those are things that, I mean, I know there's other teams now with a bunch of dome stadiums and retractable roofs that are going to host, but like you mentioned, city-wise, which is one of the things to me that has always bothered me, NBA-wise. The Heat haven't hosted an NBA All-Star Weekend since 1990 because it coincides with a boat show. So there's no hotels. I'm like, you have to make an accommodation. As a league, you can make an accommodation and make the All-Star game a week later, or you could talk to the boat show and make it a week before. It's impossible that Miami has not hosted an NBA All-Star game in over 40 years.
Let me ask you guys this, and we'll get ready to wrap it. But I want to ask you this off topic, but because you're just talking about 1990. Did any of you see Skip Bayless and Stephen A. Smith back together on Friday?
Oh, God.
Did you get to see it?
I didn't see it.
Did you?
I haven't watched First Take.
I didn't see it
in a very long time.
He's a moron.
Very barely can I watch First Take, but I'm going to tell you.
Those two.
It was so nostalgic to turn.
Yeah, it is nostalgic.
Did you see what Skip Bayless put LeBron in his top 10?
Top 9, yeah. He put him
9. 9.
He made.
People got to stop hating, man. Like, there's certain things that it's just unrealistic.
He made Stephen A. Smith have to defend LeBron. He knows Stephen A. Smith hates LeBron James personally. He hates him.
That could have been strategic.
But yeah, Stephen A. gets on my nerves. But yeah, Stephen A. Smith and Skip Bayless back together. I was very nostalgic because they were talking about. Of course, they brought up Tim Tebow, LeBron. You know, it's like all the old
topics haven't changed. The topics haven't changed.
I was like, they need to bring him back every Friday. Like, I don't like watching Stephen A. Smith with everybody else. I don't care. I can't watch him with I'm like, I've lost. I used to be so. Well, I used to love watching Stephen. I can't. It's not the same. But if you bring back Stephen A., you know what you're getting out of them. Like, you're like, oh, I'm going to watch this for the hot takes. You know, because that's what Stephen A. Smith does. Not Stephen A. Smith. That's what Skip does. You know. Evan, you know this, right?
He ignites Stephen A.
Stanza does this. You know, comes in with the hot takes. We're like, wait, what did you just say? And, you know, and he will go on, and so much so that you start to believe, and you're like, no, you're full of shit. Stop. Like, you know, because he when he started talking about LeBron being number 9, you go, the first thing you do is, what?
That makes sense.
The talk was who ended up being right, and this was such a Finstanza, Bobby Finstock topic. Who was more right about Tim Tebow? Stephen A. Smith and Skip Bayless. Who was more right about Tim Tebow? And Skip goes first. And Skip goes, well, obviously I was right. And you see Stephen A. go, he goes, well, I told you, draft him in the first round, and draft him in the first round, and watch, he's going to lead a team to the playoffs. And what did they do? He goes, McDaniels drafted him at the end of the first round. He came in, he had the greatest game, and this, and I was like, and I'm like only they could make that topic. Because who wants to talk about Tim Tebow in 2026? But they did it, and you're in there laughing because Stephen A. Smith's like, first of all, and he always does this. First of all, Tim Tebow's a friend, and I have a lot of respect for him. But you're at it, just shut up and make calls. But I really enjoyed seeing those two back together. Like, I hope they do Friday night. They both drive me crazy, but separately, I can't watch them. Together, I could. I
hear they want to bring back Shannon Sharp. They want to bring back Shannon Sharp.
Yeah, he wants to bring back Shannon Sharp to First Take.
Well, the guy who got most screwed, and I wish the only time I enjoyed actually watching First Take.
Max Kellerman.
No, not Kellerman. The person who I enjoyed the most was when Irvin was there. I thought Irvin, when he was there, he could get under the skin. Like, honestly, like Bobby, when people were watching the U during the playoffs, the first thing people were looking for was Michael Irvin on the sideline just to laugh because he's a mascot. He's a mascot. It's hilarious the way he's a kid. He wants it. He wants that attention. He loves it. And he was able to.
He's hilarious.
He's hilarious.
You know what though? See, but I love when I don't like when guys agree. Like Skip Bayless offers that to Stephen A. Smith. Max Kellerman did that with Stephen A. Smith. Like he was so. Another name that was Will Kane. Like, and I'm talking about Will Kane when he was on First Take. He gave that other perspective where you would go like, "The fuck are you?" But then at the same time, I like when they bring that different perspective, where you gotta like quite. And there was times where he would hit, like it would make a lot of sense what he was saying. But of course, Stephen A. Smith's like, "I'm the smart sports guy. You don't even know what you're talking about." It's like, no, actually, he's actually hitting the head. Like I like when those guys give that type of perspective. I could watch him on ESPN, not so much the other channel, but I can watch him on First Take. He's good.
Yeah. But the talking heads though have gotten like now he's kind of sickening right now, Stephen A. because the Knicks are doing well. But like at the same time, it's like when his team is doing well, he's a little nauseating.
Yeah. I was surprised that he put the Knicks as the number one destination for LeBron next year.
LeBron. I see LeBron going to one of two places. I see him going back to Cleveland, or I see him going to Golden State because he likes Kerr.
I think it's Miami. Cleveland or Miami. That's what I think.
Might be Miami.
I know personally. I do think in the end he will go back to the East because I think he doesn't see a pathway getting to the finals one more time through OKC. I think that's the only reason I see him going to the East.
Alex brought it up on he didn't.
Promise you to take Bronny too. The problem is you're gonna have to take Bronny too.
Well, we'll take him. If you take Giannis, you got to take Giannis's brother, Thanos, right, or Theanis, whatever.
Yeah, I'll take all. I was
going to say though, but if Miami gets Giannis, LeBron could follow suit, come to Miami on an MLE, mid-level exception, and again, you got Bam, LeBron, Giannis, and then you still have the roster minus what you've traded. But you still got a good enough roster to compete in the East, and I think LeBron could do that, but we'll see.
You need to get away. He needs to get away from Wembanyama and SGA.
Yeah, and that West is only going to get tougher. Utah is going to get better. There's a lot, and even the East with Charlotte is upcoming.
Where's Durant going to end up? Where's Durant going to end up?
That is a nice. That is going to be secondary to Giannis. There's a possibility that he's moved domino. Because
he's still the man can still shoot.
Oh yeah,
I will say talking about KD.
Are the same.
Talking about KD as we're wrapping this up again. You're not aware. We welcome back Michael Brown to the FTSN active roster.
Right.
Bringing in.
Did you see the opening today?
Beer Sports and whatever.
Did you watch a stupid opening today with that music? Can you tell him how to put on a hat? Come on, I cannot watch a guy
so judgmental on people.
His hat. Who puts a hat that's even put it on his head?
It's a look, man. It's a look.
No, hats are meant to be worn, not to be like to show that he's more than 5 feet tall, right? I know he needs a little. I know when I first met him, he was below 5 feet. With the hat, he's a little over 5 feet. But still, because if you wear it if you don't put it on top of your head,
he's just catching strays. He's just catching strays.
I know, Mike Brown. Well, Mike Brown brings over Beer, Sports, and Whatever podcast to FTSN. This episode this morning was recorded from last night, but he will be live as he goes on with his father or special guests. I mean, but they were talking Houston Astros, Houston Rockets, his Faja, Pops Brown. So excited about Mike rejoining the team, the active roster. And of course, as Evan has been on his little breaks, we've grown since the draft. We got on.
I have a team. Wait. How are the Panthers doing this playoffs?
Evan, we don't talk about the Panthers right now. We went through a very tough season.
They needed that. No, they were just resting. They want to know. They wanted everyone else to get a chance. They had the Panthers said, "Let me just take a break."
We'll be back next year.
Don't worry. We're good. Yeah.
Wait, Alex. Do you know what the average age of my hockey team is? Do you know what the average age is?
22?
No, that's a little young.
Oh, 24?
25.
Wait, no, it's just under 25, and we have our star players that are dominating are all 25 and younger.
Oh, no. I mean, you're going to be a perennial contending
team. Our goalie, who's been phenomenal, plus the other goalie who's going to be a phenom, our goalie's average age is 21, 22 years old. It's bananas.
That's something that we need to fortify, our goaltending position, because we have a decision to make there.
Wow.
Absolutely. Great to add.
I'm telling you, unbelievable.
I think you found your match, brother.
But the only difference is that I did it first. Sloppy seconds doesn't count. Sloppy seconds doesn't count.
But I will say again,
Slutty Sammy,
to everyone who again we've broken 4,000 subscribers here on Fins Talk Sports Network, FTSN. I'm very excited and ecstatic for the growth of the channel. Grateful for all the contributors and content creators who've been on this channel throughout the years, but also to the viewers who've been a part of this journey and continue to join us. Again, we have all types of content here on FTSN. We got Dolphins, we got Heat, we got Marlins, we got Panthers, we got NFL, NBA, college football, fantasy sports, wrestling. We've got it all. I mean, it's not just one thing. And so we thank you all for joining us, and hopefully whether you love or hate what we say, and we pretty much expect you to love or hate what we're going to talk about, but that's okay. We welcome the criticism. We welcome the perspectives. Everyone is welcomed here on FTSN. So subscribe to the channel. If you want to go off on Evan every week, he's used to that during the season. He welcomes it. If you want to go off on me and you're an idiot and all this, it's cool. You're a part of the group.
I got DSG. DSG.
That's right. So
I got Alex. Alex,
make sure you subscribe to the channel. We appreciate you. And if you're watching the show after the fact, do me a favor on the comments. Tell us what you think about the Giannis trade, the draft, the NBA draft, the Dolphins extending De'Von Achane, and let us know where you're watching from. We'd love to know where you're from, get to know you, and welcome you to the show. Tomorrow, FTSN continues with Fins Talk today at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll be live with our live reaction to the NFL schedule. Raiders potentially week 1, Jets potentially week 7. That's what I saw from our friend Big E. So maybe that is the case, but we will see how that plays out. That is Finstanza. That's Alex El Nino, Alex the boy. I'm Bobby El Americano. 305 Sports in the house. I see you in there, Will. Make sure you subscribe. Thank you, Will. Subscribe to the channel. Let's keep building this up. We're at 4,000 right now. Let's get to 5. We continue to grow. Fins Sammy, Fins TV. Subscribe there. Subscribe to 305 Sports. Great Canes content. We appreciate everybody tuning in. Like, subscribe, and good night, Miami.
Buenas noches.
Bobby L. Gringos in the house. Straight out of Hialeah, no doubt. East 10th Street, where we play out. Here we bring the Miami crowd. Alex, the boy with the B. Step into rhythm, feel the heat. Street vibes mixing with the Latin tree. In our flow, the two worlds meet.